Hello everyone, welcome to Kodesh Gardens. I wanted to give you all an update. It's been a little while. It's about 90 degrees outside and I just got done weeding for a couple hours because it's been at least 4 to 6 weeks since I've had a chance to get out in the garden. But I wanted to give you all an update real quick, so here we go. Here are my potato plants that I did in a previous video. As you can see, they're way too tall, and I have not yet had a chance to put more dirt in here. So just as a side note, stay tuned for my next video, which is going to show you all what to do once your potato plants get to about this height. Actually, they should be much shorter than this, but like I mentioned, I have not had a chance to get out here and do much of anything. So I will go ahead and show you all what to do, but at this point, this is just more of an update on how everything is going with the garden. Here are 4 buckets, 4 containers that I did for the tomatoes. Here is the one tomato plant. As you can see how tall it is right here. That's the one I planted from seeds. And these 3, these are shorter. I did buy these from a local hardware store, but they are heirloom tomatoes. And as you can see, they're growing fine, no problems, no weeds when you do container gardening, so super easy. Here are my carrots. You can see how much they've grown right here. And I have these in just some regular black Tupperware containers. There's a net over it, and the net is to keep the birds. They like the leaves that sprout up. So I put this little flimsy net on here. I don't know if you can see this or not, to keep the birds out of it. All right, so let's go on down. Okay, let's come on into the garden. Everything seems to be coming along nicely, and I want to show you all also about this no-till I was explaining to you all about previously in a different video. I have not been out here to actually weed for about 4 to 6 weeks, and I just got done. I probably spent a couple of hours out here in the sun, you know, just getting some weeds that I've seen on the side. But as you can see, really, there's hardly any weeds out here at all. I mean, everything is pretty manageable. Here's the blueberries. These are my strawberry plants. You know, it was just really super easy the way that we have the straw laid out and the dirt on top to be able to pull the weeds out. I don't know if you can see this here. Let's see if I can show you this. Like, for example, this, super easy. I don't have to yank it out. You know, part of the root is not still in the ground. Now, there are some that I was not able to get out, but that's not such a big deal. Anyway, I'll start over here. These are my romaines. That's, you know, not as many as coming up like I had hoped, but some of them are. My mustard greens are booming. Those are really nice, as you can see. Here are my zucchini plants. I've got 3 rows of those. You could tell which ones I started first. These are the later ones. Here's another row of zucchini, and here's another row. And as you can see, I'm gonna get close. You can kind of see the flower pretty soon is going to be blooming. Anytime you have a bloom for a zucchini, that's where the zucchini is going to be. So wherever there's a flower, there's going to bloom, there's going to be a zucchini to come out. Bunch of blooms. Let me see if I can come on down close to this one, and we'll just look underneath of it. You can see all these flowers that are about ready to bloom. Those are all zucchinis. So we love zucchinis here in this house. Okay, and these are my tomato plants. As you can see, they have grown taller than the actual stakes themselves. So let me come through here so you can see. Oh, my cabbage. These are the 3 cabbages I had. So far, they're doing well. I'm not sure how they're going to do. This one probably is the best. This does have a little head on it, but I don't know. You know, it's so hot out here. Prayerfully, it'll actually produce a nice sized cabbage head. But here are my tomato plants. You can see there's flowers. I'll get some of the actual tomatoes you can see on the plant, but These are the ones I showed you all where we started from seeds. They're really tiny. Now they're just really starting to produce. As you can see here, I think these look like these are probably Romas. I don't know if you can see these too well. Yeah. Right here. And then here's more starting to come out. These, you can see, it's a little bit bigger. Those are nice. But as you can see, these plants are just about almost as tall as I am. And I'm a little over 5 foot tall. Let's go on down. So, and look at the ground. There's not a lot of weeds, as I showed you all before. So I'm thinking this no-till is probably what's going to work for us. This is, these look like these are probably cherry tomatoes. Let me move this out of the way. These are probably cherry tomatoes right here. And here's some more. And just to show you all what we've done with the stake cage I was telling you all about, this is what we did. We tied it up on the stake, and as you can see, as it starts to kind of, you know, sprout out, we had to use the cage to go ahead and tie it. And I think this really works out really good too. So let me take you around a couple more, and then we'll go to the rest of the garden here. Okay, here's another example of how we tied it on the stake, and then once we get to the wire, we tied it onto the wire. You don't want to tie the plant too tight because you don't want to keep it from going. It's going to grow, so you want to kind of tie it loose enough, just loose enough where it's not going to come and fall off. You can see we've got some tomatoes. These are the round, I think these are Bonnie Best, the round tomatoes right here. So anyway, these are all the tomato plants. I think we probably have somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 42 plants. Not for sure, somewhere around there. Okay, and then these are my peppers. Right here, we have, let's see, let me back up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 rows of peppers. And my son showed this to me right here. This looks more like I think this is probably more of a cayenne pepper. It just hasn't turned yet. But a lot of these are orange, red, and chocolate color, kind of purple, brownish looking peppers. And these have really grown a lot too. So it's just taking a little longer for the peppers. These are my green beans. You can kind of see that they're beginning to get a pod on them. Right here. I have green beans, like kind of the French style. The French style is more the long, thin kinds, more than the snaps. And I also have black beans here sprouted or planted. And it's really dry because it's super hot outside. So here's as you can see, you know, they're doing real good. Okay, so let me come on back around this way, this direction. And this is what I noticed about my corn. We have corn, and when you plant corn, from what I've read, you want to plant it in like mounds. As you can see, they're kind of a mound shape instead of just a regular row that you normally do. Some of them have sprouted, like this one is doing good, and a couple of those. And this one right here is doing real good, but some of them have not germinated at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plant another seed, reseed them, the ones that didn't grow for some reason or another. And like this one down here, this one down here is really nice. But as you can see, the ones behind them aren't so great. So, you know, sometimes that's the way it is when you're gardening. Okay, the next row, these are my spaghetti squashes. Spaghetti squashes won't be ready until around the fall time, but we really like to use spaghetti squash. We would actually prefer to do spaghetti squash rather than pasta. So if you've never tried spaghetti squash, it's really delicious. And the noodles on the inside, when you cook it in the oven, when you take a fork, you just have to look it up and research it, but They look just like pasta, like spaghetti noodles. So these are the spaghetti squashes that we have, this row right here. This row are my watermelons. And I'm not a big watermelon fan, but my family, my husband, all them, they love watermelons, so I just decided to plant some. So these are my watermelons. They're coming up slowly, but they're coming. I got a little late start with those, so normally watermelons should be ready around the beginning part of July, but like I said, I got started late. So, and these are my cucumbers. And I planted my cucumbers against the line of the fence because cucumbers are like vines, and you need kind of almost like a trellis or something for them to crawl up. So what I did was I just put them along the edge of the fence, and that way that's going to be a natural trellis for them. And let's see, I'm going to take you around here real quick. What I actually did originally was, and I love my furry friends in the neighborhood like rabbits and moles, but I don't like them when they tear my stuff up, and this is what they've done. I planted sunflower seeds, the big titans that are about 10 feet tall, that produce the big head of sunflowers that you can harvest at the end of the year, the seeds. And they were beginning to grow, but as you can see, this is all that's left. Now this is on the outside of my fence, and this, I didn't think that I would have, because I've had sunflower seeds outside of a fence before, never had a problem, but obviously they seem to like it this year. So they've broken the stems, they've eaten the leaves of pretty much every last one of my sunflowers. So what I'm going to have to wind up doing now is I'm going to have to reseed some sunflowers so that I can at least have something before the end of the year. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you all. Oh, and what I did was also, you're probably wondering, like, what are these things right here? These plants, these things right here. I planted various flowers, but I also planted marigolds around the side of the fence. And marigolds are good because they deter insects and pests, and I don't think mosquitoes like them much either. So anyway, some of the seeds have actually blown inside of the garden. Like you see that one right there. I don't know if you can see that. I don't really want to dig it up at this point and replant it. I'll just let it do what it does, as long as it doesn't affect anything else around it. So anyway, I just want to show you all and give you all a little update with how things are going. But like I said, stay tuned for my next video, which is going to be, I'm going to show you all how to, you know, kind of an update with the potatoes and the trash can. Show you all how to do that as far as putting dirt inside, how to keep everything covered, and that's coming within the next day or so. So stay tuned. Thanks a lot for visiting. Shalom.